What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. Spurs have beaten Leicester 3-1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to temporarily at least go back into fourth spot for the time being as Arsenal go to West Ham away in the 4:30 kickoff. I'm here with Bobby. How are we doing, Bobby?
All good, man. Even better after watching that performance.
Yeah, and I think... Look, it wasn't the most convincing performances at times from Tottenham. I think especially first half, there was a lot of sloppiness, maybe some, what you'd say, residue from the performances against Brighton and against Brentford. We didn't quite seem to get over those performances early doors. Lucky, you could argue, especially in the first half, not to have been a goal down with Daka hitting the post and Spurs giving Leicester a few chances. However, we did get a goal. Harry Kane scored from a header. Some would argue against a run of play, bit set pieces. And we did go into halftime with a tender 1-0 lead. Wasn't the most convincing, but as soon as Kulusevski came on, everything changed. And from then on, we went on from strength to strength. Sonny got 2 really good goals. And we ran out 3-1 winners in the end.
No, we started well, didn't we? We saw that intensity, but for some reason, we stepped off a bit. And we allowed Leicester to come into the game. We can't underestimate that save from Lloris, man. What an important save that turned out to be. But yeah, like you say, got the goal direct from a corner. Can't remember last time we scored directly from a corner, but good header from Harry Kane. Sonny looked scintillating all the way through the game. Did really well, always at the front foot. Second half, let's not shy away from it, man. Decky made a big difference.
He did.
He came on and he changed the mindset of not the whole team. I think the whole team looked a lot more confident. And 2 assists, you can't ask for much more. And that second goal from Sonny, man.
World class.
World class. 2 left foot finishes. We shouldn't be surprised that he can finish with his left foot. He's done it so many times. But that left foot finish, it wasn't even on, was it? It wasn't even on.
He's just so ambidextrous, Son. You know that when he lines up for those for the shot with his left foot, you can't even. He doesn't have a weaker foot. That's the thing with Son. And I feel like sometimes he needs to actually trust his left foot more. Because sometimes I see him and the shot is on with his left and he tries to cut back on his right. And I'm like, come on, you've got such a good left foot. Just go with your left. And today he did a couple of times. And obviously 2 goals takes him to 19 now. 3 behind Salah at the moment. He's on 22. But with 4 games left, you know, you never know. Maybe he can chase him down. But look, in terms of Spurs, Lucas didn't had a chance today. It was a big surprise inclusion in the lineup. And I think we probably got evidence as to why he's been down the pecking order for so long, because he really did not give a good display, didn't he? And after 55 minutes, Conte had seen enough. And it's very rare for Conte to make a sub that early when we're winning a game, especially a sub for someone who's not playing well, like Lucas. But did you think Lucas was just that bad? He had to make the sub?
No, I think we can't shy away from it. It was poor. He was poor. He had his chance. And we said at half-time, it wasn't just, you know, the lack of the poor passing and the poor link-up play, but there was a time where I think you pointed it out. He lost the ball, and he just walked away. There wasn't that closing down or wanting the hunger to win the ball back, which surprised me about Lucas, because if there's one thing he does do is run. But there's no way the 2 balls that Decky plays in the second half. Lucas has that in him to do that.
Especially the first one.
Exactly, 100%. And we said at half-time, give him 10, 15 minutes, second half, if it doesn't improve. We're just watching the...
Sorry, we're just
Chelsea,
watching Everton that he scored again.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think I'm happy that he was proactive about that decision.
Yeah.
Because he could have easily let it run till 70 minutes or so, like he's done in the past few games. And that's something that we've criticised Conte for, me and Ben have personally, about him not wanting to change games early enough and waiting too long until the game's nearly gone, or was a lot harder to... change it, and he did after 55 minutes. And after 55 minutes, the performance was completely different. He added a touch of class, Decky, dribbling as well, and decision making in the final third, and that's exactly what we needed. And Leicester, it seemed as though they didn't want it. It was just whether we were going to give it to them or not. And in the first half,
full time, by the way,
full time, Everton have beaten Chelsea 1-0.
Wow,
big result there. But it seemed as though in the first half, we did threaten to give the game to Leicester.
Yep.
But second half, we shut that down as soon as Decky came on, and we stopped making those sloppy mistakes. We had that bit of sharpness back into our game, that crispness of passing. And I think at the end, we deserved the win. I think 3-1 maybe flatters us a bit, but I think we probably, at the end of the day, especially for the last half an hour, we were the much better team, and Leicester struggled to deal with us, despite obviously making a lot of changes.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at the point, did we really get out of third, fourth gear, really?
Not really.
We didn't go full throttle. And we were playing against a team who have nothing to play for and made 8 changes, and I think that showed towards the end. But our front three turned up. They did what they were capable of. And when we've got the most dangerous front three in the Premier League at time moment, and they're on top of the game, no one can handle them. No one can handle them. And unfortunately, he was missing against Brighton and Brentford. Who knows how much them 2 non-wins are going to cost us. But we had to win today. We have won today. And it's onwards and upwards. Pressure's back on Arsenal.
Yeah,
against a very strong-looking West Ham side.
Well, not completely weak, I guess. Is the thing.
Yeah,
and I guess maybe that shows where their head's at in West Ham in terms of they think it's still an important game, despite the fact they got a European semi-final. And Arsenal need to win now. They can't draw. A draw puts Tottenham back in top 4 on goal difference, which is positive. One player who is getting a bit of praise I can see in the chat is Emerson Royal.
Yeah.
What did you think of his performance today? Because he's a player who constantly comes under criticism. But was it a positive step today for him?
He had a good game. And how do I say this? He's one of our own right now. He wears, like I said before, he wears our shirt and we have to give him. But, mate, if he couldn't improve on the last 2 shit shows, then what have we got? He could only improve today. I still think there were a number of times where he could have put a cross in. When he crossed, he failed. He lost possession a couple of times. He was better. They say he defended a bit better today, but he did better today. Not a 5 out of 10, maybe a 6.
Okay, step in the right direction.
Step in the right direction.
But in terms of getting back, obviously we got back to winning ways in terms of result. Was the performance overall? Was it convincing enough for you? Were you happy with the performance, or do you still think, based on today, was there's still something that is missing in terms of the energy and in terms of the sharpness in this team? Because we did see him against Brighton and Brentford, very lethargic, moving the ball slowly, that kind of stuff. Had that completely gone out of our game today?
Yeah, to an extent. Like I say, in the first half, midway through the second half, first half, we did allow Leicester to come back in. The intensity was a lot more there today. But again, if I'm saying the same thing for Real, we had to. If we couldn't improve on the last 2 poor performances, then we had nowhere to go. So any improvement today would have been good. But we did see a big difference in intensity. Certainly the closing down. Bentancur closed down more players today than what he's done in the previous two or 3 games. So yeah, there was improvement there. We did get a bit lacklustre and take a foot off the pedal, off the gas midway through the. But then second half, we kind of expected that a team with 8 changes, it didn't have much, and us bringing on Decky, improving in quality. I think the game kind of went how we expected, and I don't think 3-1 really flattered us. Certainly, if you look at, and Wills are going to love this word, stats. I think we did really well.
Well, we had more than enough shots to target today, 7 in total. So that usually makes up for the 2. We not makes up for it, but definitely goes some way to improving that look. And look, we go to Anfield next week now, in a massive game. We've got the job done today. It's exactly what we needed for that big game at Anfield, where that really, depending on what happens today with Arsenal, that game at Anfield, as much as people talk about the North London derby, if Arsenal win their next 2 and we don't win at Anfield, the North London derby might not mean as much as people think. So, you know, it's a massive game. I'm happy we got the job done today. But how are you feeling going to that game now at Anfield?
Anfield, I'm all, you know me, Sim. I'm always confident, mate. We're going to have to be at the top of our game. I'll be interested to see what you thought of Kane's performance today.
Yeah, he wasn't on his best.
No.
He wasn't. I think he improved a bit like the team as the game went on. Second half, he was better. But first half, again, a bit similar to even though he scored with the header, fair play, he just looked sloppy. And he just looked, his passing wasn't on point. And he just again looked a bit lethargic, which was a bit annoying.
His first touch seemed to have, that
improved though. He did improve.
Yeah, he did. He rushed a couple of passes. The shot right at the end, he could have taken a touch before taking a shot. But hey, he's got his goal. Hopefully that'll bring him. Not that I think he's lacked any confidence. I think he's always been a confident player, but it's a goal that he needed. Certainly. But talking of the goals, I think Decky needed that performance as well. I really think he needed that. And we'll talk about a rotation. Maybe he just needed that kick up the backside. Maybe being a young player, he believed in his own hype quite a lot. You know, a lot was made of the front three who were performing absolutely brilliantly against certain teams. So maybe he just needed a bit of time out. Let's see what Lucas can do. And he came on and showed what he's capable of. Again, I think it's very much Ginola-esque for me with Decky. And I think we'll see that. Ginola wasn't the fastest. I think his pace, which a lot of people tend to comment on, I think it's a bit underrated. I think he does have something about him when it comes to pace. But no, overall, came, got his goal, got him back on the score sheet. With regards to Anfield, I'm always confident. I'd love to say 4-1.
It's going to be a very big game. But look, we've got the fan show coming up.
Yeah.
We've got the Arsenal watch along as well, all coupled up the fan show. So stay tuned. We will be bringing that with you a bit later on. Obviously, the game kicks off in half an hour. Quick shout out to Bobby K. He says, Bob Spur in the house. Big up, Sim. Thank you for Spurs not effing up our Sunday. Come on, you Spurs. Massive love to Bob and We Are Tottenham TV for supporting the kids. Big up to you, Bobby K.
Big up, Bobby K.
All you guys
Great name.
watching the watch along and supporting the channel. Much appreciated. We'll be bringing the fan show / watch along very, very shortly. So see you very soon. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always,
come on, you Spurs.